Thank you for tuning in to another video. You have made it to the free Spanish lessons videos that I am now doing now that I hit 10,000 subscribers. Today we're going to get right into it. We're talking about how to conjugate regular AR verbs in the present tense. For those of you who are beginners who have no clue what an infinitive is, an infinitive is the base form of a verb in Spanish. We have it in English too. So in English it just means to plus an action. For example, to walk, to talk, to climb, whatever it may be. In Spanish, these infinitives have one of three endings. It's either going to be an AR verb, an ER verb, or an IR verb. So today we're going over the AR verb conjugations in the present tense, okay? So, first things first, I want to introduce you to this chart here. This chart you want to be very acquainted with because you will see it throughout all of my conjugation videos. There are plenty of other charts, but this is my favorite one. This is the one that I use to learn with, so I'm going to repeat the information to you guys. This chart in particular is the personal pronoun chart. So you have to know your personal pronouns first before you can start conjugating. So I would highly advise you to write this down and to not memorize it, but learn it. Because memorizing, like I said before in one of my other videos, memorizing can fade. But when you learn something, it doesn't go away. You know it, it's a skill. So definitely encourage you to learn this chart here so that you can conjugate quickly, okay? So let's go through it. First we have yo, and yo means I. So anytime you want to say I in Spanish, you're going to say yo. We have tú, which is the informal or the friendly way of saying you. So if it's, you would use this with your peers, you can use this with family in most countries. You would use this with people that you work with, you know, things of that sort. Tú, the informal version of you. Then you have él, which is he, ella, which is she, and then usted, which is the formal version of you. So you'll use this with anyone who is superior to you in some form or fashion. So it could be a job, it can be someone who's way older than you, it can be a stranger that you have never met before and you want to be polite with them, then you would use usted. Next we have nosotros. Nosotros will be we. So when we want to say we just say nosotros, simple as that. And then the last one, I'm going to skip over. I'm not teaching you guys Spanish, so we're not going to go over vosotros. Just know that if you do want to check it out, there's 1,000 sites that will teach you about vosotros. I just choose not to do so. Next we have ellos. Ellos will be used when you're talking about, when you want to say they and you're talking about a group of guys, or it can be a group of guys and girls. Now the important thing about this is, let's say you have 5 girls and 1 guy, that 1 guy controls the whole group. So it will still be ellos, even though there are more girls than guys there. Now when you have only girls and you want to say they, then you will use ellas. Ellas is for a group of girls only, no guys involved. And then you have ustedes. Ustedes is you guys, you all, y'all, yous guys. I don't know how you say it, I'm not sure where you're from. I know everybody says it differently, but it's the plural form of you. So those are the personal pronouns. So like I said, make sure to write those down and to learn them. Don't memorize them, but learn them, okay? The next chart that we're gonna look at, we're gonna add to this chart, because I told you this chart is gonna follow us everywhere with conjugation. What we're gonna add now are the actual endings that apply to this chart. I'm gonna explain it in detail later, how to exactly use this, but for now, just write it down so that you know the endings that go along with these personal pronouns. So when you have an AR verb in the present tense, and it's a regular AR verb, you will have the word yo, and the conjugation of the AR verb, the ending that you're going to add will be o. So yo goes with o. Next we have tú, and the ending for tú will be as. Tú, as. For él, ella, and usted, it will be a. Él, ella, usted, your ending for your word will be a. And I do want to mention here that él means he, right? Ella means she, and usted means you, the formal version. But if you're talking about a singular object, you will also use this ending for that as well. So if you're talking about it, let's say you're talking about it, whatever it is, and it's a singular object, then you will use the same ending for él, ella, and usted. So definitely take note of that so that you're not confused in later examples. For nosotros, we have amos. Nosotros, amos. That's the ending for that. And then for ellos, ellas, ustedes, it will be an. An. So make sure that you're not pronouncing these any other way than the way that I just told you, because you don't want to say a or an or amos. It's not any of that. It's the a sound, because that's the vowel sound for the a in Spanish. If you don't know your vowel sounds, you can check out my Spanish pronunciation series up there to learn the vowel sounds. Those are the endings for the AR verbs in the present tense, and of course those are regular verbs, okay? So how do we actually apply these? What does this actually mean? Let's make sense of it now. So now I want to take you through the process of actually conjugating an AR verb. So if you remember in the beginning, I told you guys about an infinitive. What is an infinitive again? It is the base form of a verb. It means to something. It means to plus an action. So let's say I want to say to walk. Then in Spanish, that would be caminar. Caminar. So our ending, our infinitive ending is the AR portion of it, right? Because it's an AR verb. So that's the ending. Anything that's not that AR ending will be the stem. So if we have the word caminar, then what would the stem be? If you said camin, then you're correct. Because all you have to do is take the AR off, because that's the ending, and whatever's left would obviously be the stem, okay? So caminar is the word that we're going to be using with right now. So here's the formula for conjugating your AR verb. First of all, we need to have a goal in mind. Our goal right now is to say I walk. So we know that I is yo in Spanish, and we know that caminar means to walk. So the first thing that we have to do is take our infinitive, which is caminar, and we take the stem camin and we separate that from ar. We get rid of the ar, so we're left with just camin, and then we simply add the correct ending to the stem. So we have camin, and then what's the correct ending for yo? If you have it written down, then you would know that the correct ending for yo is o. So all we do is attach the o to the stem camin. Camino, yo camino. And that's how we say I walk. It's as simple as that. So you really just chop off the ending, get rid of it, and add a new ending to correspond to whatever personal pronoun that we had. It's that simple. So now I want to let you guys try it. I'm going to give you the goal of what you want to say in English. Then I'm going to give you the Spanish personal pronoun accompanied by the infinitive form of the verb. And I want you to conjugate it just like I conjugated it using the conjugation formula. So we want to say you speak or you talk. And this will be the informal version of you, I'm sorry. So we want to say informally, you speak or you talk. So that's our goal. In Spanish, we have the personal pronoun tú, and then we have the infinitive hablar. So how would we mix those together to come out to the correct form? Okay, we attach the ending for the tú form, as, and we're left with hablas, hablas, tú hablas. Let's try another one. We want to say they, and this time they is referring to a group of only women. They dance. So I'm going to give you the word for they, which is ellas, and then the infinitive, bailar. So what ending goes with the word they? What ending goes with the word ellas in Spanish? Once you find that, just take it through the whole formula and see what you end up with. If you did it correctly, then you would have gotten ellas bailan. Ellas bailan. One thing I do want to mention about the pronunciation is that when you have your infinitive, the stress of the word will be at the end of the word. So for example, listen closely. Bailar, bailar. But when you conjugate it, then the stress of the word is at the second to last syllable. So, ellas bailan, ellas bailan. So I'm not saying ellas bailan, I'm saying ellas bailan. So make sure to pay close attention to that when you're speaking, that you're putting the accent in the correct spot. We're going to try something a little more complex. I'm going to give you multiple verbs in one sentence, and I want to see if you can conjugate them correctly. So let's say that we're talking about a singular object, and we want to say that it does 3 different things. So for example, let's say we have a toy, and this toy can sing, talk, and it can dance. How would I express that in Spanish? Well, remember, I told you that the él, ella, usted form can be used to describe it, right? So we don't necessarily have to say it in Spanish in this case, because there is not really a word for it. We already know we're talking about the toy. That's a singular toy. So all we have to do is just conjugate it in the regular él, ella, usted form. So what did I say? It can sing, talk, and dance. So we're just going to say canta, habla, y baila. So that means it sings, it talks, it dances. So that's literally it for the AR present tense conjugation video. It's a long title, it's hard for me to get out. But anyways, that's it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment below. I do want to challenge you guys to do some homework on your own. I want you to look up at least, at the minimum, 20 regular AR verbs. And I want you to define them first of all. So like get a notebook and define what these words mean. And then I want you to conjugate at least 10 of them. So minimum 20 words total to define, and then conjugate at least half of those words in all forms. Or if you don't want to do all forms, then just go through the list of however many personal pronouns that we have and just conjugate one for each word if you want to do it that way. I mean, it's up to you, but I definitely encourage you to do so. The next video that we're going to work on will be the ER and the IR conjugation. Those are very similar, so I'm going to combine them into one video. It's actually pretty much the same thing as the AR conjugation, but it's just the endings are a little different. That's all it is. So anyways, thank you for watching today. Please subscribe, share, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video.